Welcome to our channel, where the veil between reality and nightmare is thin, friends. Tonight, we embark on a journey into the heart of darkness, where steel tracks cut through the desolate landscapes and the spirits of the departed cling to the world of the living. We bring you 3 spine-chilling tales of phantom riders on haunted railroads, forever bound to the iron horses that carried them to their doom. Prepare yourself, dear viewers, for a journey into the unknown, a one-way ticket to terror on the rails of the damned. Our first stop takes us to the outskirts of a forgotten town, swallowed by time and shadows. A town where the living dare not speak its name, and the dead, well, the dead never truly left. It is here, where the rusted tracks of the old Eastern line snake through the skeletal remains of a once bustling rail yard, that the legend of the Midnight Express was born. They say, friends, that on the stroke of midnight, when the moon hangs heavy in the sky and shadows stretch like grasping claws, a spectral train emerges from the swirling mist. Its engine, a hulking monstrosity of iron and malice, seems to cough and wheeze, spewing forth plumes of acrid smoke that smell of sulfur and despair. The windows of its passenger cars, they glow with an eerie inner light, like the dying embers of a funeral pyre. But look closer, friends, if you dare. Peer into those windows and tell me, what do you see? Faces. Pale, gaunt faces with eyes that burn with an unholy fire. These are the souls of the damned, forever trapped aboard the Midnight Express, condemned to relive their final moments for all eternity. The story goes that the Midnight Express was once a train of flesh and blood, carrying hundreds of souls through the night. But fate, it seems, had other plans. A terrible storm raged that night, the likes of which had never been seen before, and the old bridge over Widow's Creek, weakened by years of neglect, finally gave way. The train, caught in the grip of the raging torrent, plunged into the abyss, taking every last soul with it to a watery grave. Now, they say that the engineer, his heart consumed by guilt and madness, can be seen at the controls of the phantom locomotive, his spectral hand forever on the throttle, his eyes burning with the fires of hell. They say his cries of anguish can be heard above the roar of the spectral engine, a chilling lament that echoes through the night, a warning to all who dare cross its path. But the engineer is not alone in his torment. No, friends, the passengers, their forms twisted and disfigured by time and death, roam the spectral aisles, their mournful cries a chorus of despair that chills the very marrow. Some say they are searching for something, these lost souls. Some say they are searching for peace, for redemption, for a way to escape their iron prison. But they are doomed to roam the rails forevermore, their spectral train forever bound to the tracks that carried them to their doom. So, friends, if you ever find yourselves near the forgotten town, near the rusted tracks of the old Eastern line, when the clock strikes 12 and the veil between worlds grows thin, listen closely. You might just hear the mournful wail of the train whistle, a harbinger of doom echoing through the night, signaling the arrival of the Midnight Express. And if you see a flickering light in the distance, a spectral glow cutting through the darkness, turn back while you still can. For the Midnight Express makes no stops, and its ghostly passengers are always looking for new souls to join their macabre ride into eternity. Our journey into the darkness takes us westward now, friends, high into the unforgiving peaks of the Rocky Mountains. Here, where the air is thin and the silence is broken only by the wind whistling through the canyons, another phantom train makes its rounds. They call it the ghost train of the Rockies, and its story is one of betrayal, vengeance, and the restless spirits of those wronged. It all began, so the legend goes, back in the days when the West was still wild, and the railroad was the lifeblood of a burgeoning nation. A group of miners, their hearts filled with greed and their pockets lined with gold, struck it rich in the heart of the mountains. But their good fortune, as it often does, attracted the attention of those with less than noble intentions. A gang of outlaws, ruthless and cunning, ambushed the miners as they made their way back to civilization aboard a train laden with their newfound wealth. The massacre was swift and brutal. Not a single miner survived the onslaught, their bodies left to rot under the unforgiving mountain sun. Their gold vanished along with the outlaws, but the spirits of the miners, their souls bound to the gold that had been so cruelly stolen from them, refused to rest. Now, they say, whenever the moon is full and the wind howls through the mountain passes, the ghost train of the Rockies emerges from the shadows. The train itself is a sight to behold, friends. A hulking steam engine, its black paint scratched and faded, its brass fittings tarnished with age and neglect, pulls a string of creaking, groaning ore cars. But these cars, they aren't filled with rocks and minerals. No, friends. They're filled with the glimmering, ghostly gold stolen from the murdered miners. And if you listen closely, as the ghost train rumbles past, you can hear the mournful cries of the miners, their voices echoing through the canyon, seeking justice, seeking vengeance, seeking peace. Some say that the ghost train is searching for the site of its demise, hoping to find its lost treasure and finally lay the spirits of the miners to rest. Others believe that it's searching for the descendants of the outlaws who killed them, eager to exact a bloody revenge. Whatever its purpose, the ghost train of the Rockies is a chilling reminder that some debts, friends, can never be repaid and some sins can never be forgiven. So if you ever find yourself in the Rockies and you hear the distant sound of a train whistle echoing through the mountains, be careful. It might just be the ghost train of the Rockies, and those who cross its path rarely escape unscathed. Chapter 3. Our final destination tonight takes us deep into the heart of the Old West, to a desolate stretch of land where the wind whispers tales of forgotten dreams, and the ghosts of the past roam free. Here, beneath the scorching sun of the desert, lies the legend of the phantom locomotive of the Old West. A tale of unrequited love, desperate hope, and the thin veil that separates the living from the dead. It is said that in the days when the West was being won, a young engineer named Caleb fell head over heels for a beautiful woman named Anya, the daughter of a wealthy rancher. Their love was as bright and fierce as the desert sun, but their happiness, like a flower blooming in the wasteland, was tragically short-lived. Anya, you see, was already promised to another, a wealthy landowner, much older and crueler than Caleb, but with a hold on her father's ambitions. Anya, heartbroken but bound by duty, was forced to abandon her love, leaving Caleb shattered and alone. Driven to the brink by despair, Caleb poured his grief into his work, driving his locomotive with a reckless abandon that worried even the most hardened railroad men. One fateful night, his heart heavy with sorrow, Caleb decided to end his torment. He took his locomotive, the only thing he had left in the world that understood his pain, and he rode it straight into the heart of the desert, the mournful wail of the engine whistle echoing his own broken heart. They never found Caleb's body, friends, just the wreckage of his beloved locomotive, twisted and mangled beyond recognition. But they say that his spirit, unable to let go of his love for Anya, or his final, desperate act of defiance, still roams the tracks to this day. Now, under the pale light of the desert moon, the phantom locomotive of the Old West can be seen racing across the barren landscape, its headlight cutting through the darkness like a beacon of sorrow. Some say that Caleb is still searching for Anya, hoping to reunite with his lost love in the afterlife. Others believe that he's trapped, forever replaying his final moments, the echo of his pain and longing forever etched into the fabric of the desert. Whatever the truth may be, the phantom locomotive of the Old West serves as a chilling reminder that even in death some bonds cannot be broken and some loves refuse to die. So, if you ever find yourself wandering the desolate plains of the Old West and you hear the mournful cry of a train whistle carried on the wind, remember Caleb's story. Remember the phantom locomotive, and remember that even in the loneliest corners of the world, even in the face of unimaginable loss, love and hope can endure. even if it's only as a whisper in the darkness. And so, dear viewers, our journey on the rails of the damned comes to an end. For now, we've traveled from the mist-shrouded tracks of the East to the unforgiving peaks of the Rockies, and finally to the desolate heart of the Old West, all in search of the truth behind the legends. Did we find it? That, my friends, is for you to decide. But as you turn off the lights and try to forget the chilling tales we've shared tonight, remember this. The next time you hear a train whistle in the distance, listen closely. It might just be the mournful cry of a lost soul, forever bound to the tracks, searching for peace, for vengeance, for love, or perhaps, just perhaps, for you.